Yeah.
The Big Ten is loaded with elite coaches with experience and success across countless different programs. But how do they stack up against one another? Who is the best coach in the Big Ten? Today we're going to answer that question as we rank every single Big Ten head coach from 1 through 14. And we're going to jump right on into our rankings right now, guys, with the 14th best coach in the Big Ten. That's going to be Tom Allen at Indiana. Tom Allen took over as the head coach for the Hoosiers back in 2017, but he is just 26-31 in his 5 years with the program. He's led Indiana to just 2 bowl games with 0 bowl victories, and his best 2 seasons came in 2019 and 2020, where he went 8-5 in 2019 and 6-2 in that 2020 COVID year. He followed that successful season up, though, with a 2-10 record in 2021. And if the Hoosiers cannot get to a bowl game in 2022 and maybe even win that bowl game, Allen could be on his way out of Bloomington. In at number 13, Scott Frost at Nebraska. Some will say that Frost deserves to be higher up on this list. I don't see how he can be. Not with the other people within the conference and not with how poorly he's been at Nebraska. Yes, he went 19-7 in 2 years at UCF, going 13-0 in 2017. But he's just 15-29 in 4 years with the Cornhuskers with 0 bowl appearances. He went 3-9 in 2021 with all of their losses coming by 9 points or less. So Nebraska was so close to getting to a bowl game from having a very special season. Some calling them the best 3-9 team in history, but they couldn't get the job done. And Scott Frost is absolutely on the hot seat. If he fails to get Nebraska to a bowl game in 2022, he will be out of Lincoln. Coming in at number 12, Greg Schiano at Rutgers. I was so happy when Rutgers decided to rehire Schiano back to Piscataway. Remember that Schiano was the head coach at Rutgers from 2001 to 2011, compiling a 68-67 record and making this football program relevant. He's now trying to do the same now. He's 8-14 in 2 years with the Scarlet Knights. And while that doesn't sound like a big deal, let's keep in mind how bad Rutgers was before Schiano arrived. In 4 years under Chris Ash, Rutgers had 9 total wins, not conference wins, 9 total wins in 4 years. And now in 2 years under Schiano, Rutgers already has 8 wins. He's doing a great job of recruiting. He's doing a great job of making this program somewhat relevant again. No longer a pushover in the Big Ten. Rutgers, again, 5-8 in 2021, their best mark since 2014. And I have a slight suspicion that they might be in the postseason in 2022. Coming in at number 11, Mike Locksley at Maryland. Maryland finally broke through under Locksley in 2021, going 7-6 and winning the Pinstripe Bowl over Virginia Tech. And they won that game in dominating fashion. But Locksley is just 12-18 during his time with the Terrapins. 3 years now with the Terrapins, going on year 4. He's starting to build something. I believe this program finally turned a corner with that bowl appearance and that bowl win. But we still have him ranked in the lower level of Big Ten coaches, and we will not be able to make him rise in those rankings until he finally starts to prove himself and finally starts to show some consistency with this Maryland program. In at number 10, Brett Bielema at Illinois. Many will say he doesn't deserve to be even in the top 10 of Big Ten coaches, but we're looking at his career as a whole. Bielema is a guy who knows the Big Ten. He understands the region. He understands the style of play. He went 68-24 during his time at Wisconsin from 2006 to 2012 with 3 straight Big Ten titles from 2010 to 2012. He jumped ship and went to the SEC, coached at Arkansas for 5 years, but went just 29-34, floated around the NFL for a bit, and now landed at Illinois, where he went 5-7 in 2021. He is starting to build things now for the Fighting Illini in Champaign, a team that has just 1 bowl appearance since 2015. Bielema has the potential to get the Fighting Illini to a bowl game in 2022. If not then, definitely 23. But he is a guy that fits perfectly in the Big Ten, and to me, fits perfectly with Illinois. In at number 9, this is where things get tough. A lot of coaches within the top 9 could kind of be mixed and matched here. So this is a very tough ranking to do. But in at number 9, we have Paul Chryst at Wisconsin. You know, when you look at Wisconsin guys as a whole, you think of a perennial Big Ten title contender, a perennial Big Ten West contender. But this was tough. It was tough to put him here at 9. He has 4 double-digit win seasons during his time with the Badgers, a 65-23 overall record with them in 7 years. But he has no Big Ten titles. 3 Big Ten championship appearances, no Big Ten titles, and the offense typically is relatively stagnant. Yes, we have seen some great rushing attacks from Wisconsin under Paul Chryst, but lately, the thing that has been holding them back has not been the defense. It has been lack of quarterback play and a lack of consistency on offense. Chryst is a great coach in the Big Ten. Have him in the top 9. But based on the success based on really what Wisconsin should be doing and versus what is actually happening, we have to put him down low at number 9. And at number 8, Jeff Brom at Purdue. Many will say, why is he 8th? Why is he above Paul Chryst? Because think about the program that he inherited in West Lafayette with Purdue. Yes, he's only 28-29 in 5 years with the Boilermakers, but he did lead them to a 9-4 record in 2021, their first 9-win season since 2003. He arrived at Purdue in 2017, got them to their first bowl game in his first year there, first bowl game since 2012. He's making Purdue football relevant. He's making them a contender in the Big Ten West. This is a team, guys, that remember, had 9 total wins from 2013 to 2016. And Brom has quickly transformed this program into one that is no longer a pushover in the conference. And at number 7, into the top half of Big Ten coaches now, PJ Fleck at Minnesota. He is 35-23 during his time with the Golden Gophers, 5 years with Minnesota, but he did go 11-2 in 2019 and did go 9-4 in 2021. Fleck is also a perfect 3-0 in bowl games with Minnesota. He has transformed the culture with the Golden Gophers. He is rowing the boat towards victory. And really, he's just one of the more likable coaches for me, not just in the Big Ten, but in all of college football. Minnesota, once again, has high expectations going into 2022. And for a program that has just been inconsistent in recent years, PJ Fleck has changed that and made them a consistent winning team ever since he arrived. Coming in at number 6, Mel Tucker at Michigan State. Many will say that he deserves to be higher on this list. I don't think that one good year deserves to have you up in the top 3 or top 4 of coaches within your conference. Mel Tucker has an 18-14 overall career record in 3 years of coaching, 3 years as a head coach. 1 at Colorado, 2 now at Michigan State. He went 2-5 in his first year with the Spartans. He went 11-2 this last year with the Spartans, winning the Peach Bowl and rising as high as number 3 in the rankings. He is building something in East Lansing. There is no doubt about it. I have him as a top half coach in the Big Ten. We have him in the top 7, which means he's in the upper half of coaches here. But I don't think he deserves to be in the top 5, not even the top 3 or 4 yet, until he can show some consistency at Michigan State. His time there is young. He is building something, but I do not believe to have him higher than 6 as of right now. Coming in at number 5, Kirk Ferentz at Iowa. This is a guy that has been at Iowa since 1999. 1999, all in one place, and he's 178 and 110 with the Hawkeyes, with 7 double-digit win seasons, 2 Big Ten titles, and 4 Big Ten title appearances. He went 10-4 in 2021, made the Big Ten championship before falling to Michigan. This is an Iowa team, and Kirk Ferentz himself, it's not flashy by any means. They're never really the spotlight of the conference, the spotlight of the nation, but they are consistent. Iowa's had at least 7 wins every season since 2013, and Ferentz has made Kinnick Stadium one of the most difficult places to play in the entire country. To me, he's absolutely a top 5 coach within this conference. We now get into the top 4. James Franklin at Penn State comes in at number 4. He's a guy that really has inherited 2 very difficult situations. First, he went and coached at Vanderbilt and made Vanderbilt football relevant. Did a good job at Vanderbilt, winning, 8-9 games in a couple of years there. He then came over to Penn State, inherited a tough situation there. Not too long after Bill O'Brien left, not too long after Penn State dealt with all the Joe Paterno and Sandusky scandals. But during his time at Penn State, James Franklin has gone 67-34. He won the Big Ten in 2016. He has 3 11-win seasons and 2 New Year's Six Bowl wins. While many are getting frustrated with James Franklin, he's just 11-11 in the last 2 years, going to 7-6 in 2021. He's a guy that, again, has made Penn State a relevant contender in the Big Ten. He's made them a consistent contender in the Big Ten. And that's something that Penn State had not seen since a long time ago under Joe Paterno, if we're being completely honest. He has had them in the hunt for the college football playoff. He has had them in the hunt for Big Ten titles. And while he only has one to their name, Penn State has enjoyed a lot of success under him, and they will continue to do so for years to come. Coming in at number 3, Pat Fitzgerald at Northwestern. He's been the head coach at Northwestern since 2006, has compiled a 109-90 record. Many people forget about Pat Fitzgerald. I think he's extremely underrated. And very similar to Jeff Brom, we look at the situation that Pat Fitzgerald deals with at Northwestern. They're not Ohio State. They're not Wisconsin. They're not Michigan. They're Northwestern. They're a little small school, and they're not held to the same standards as everybody else. Pat Fitzgerald doesn't buy that at all. 4 winning seasons for Northwestern between 1972 and 2006. Only 4 winning seasons between 1972 and 2006. Since 2006, under Pat Fitzgerald, Northwestern has 8 winning seasons, including 2 Big Ten West titles and 3 10-win seasons to go along with 5 bowl victories. Yes, the Wildcats went just 3-9 in 2021. They're kind of alternating good years and bad years, but if we want to follow the pattern, Northwestern should be in for a pretty solid year in 2022. We now get to the top 2. Who's it going to be? Is it Jim Harbaugh? Is it Ryan Day? I think you can figure that out. Number 2 is Jim Harbaugh at Michigan, a guy who finally broke through with the Wolverines in 2021. He led Michigan to a Big Ten title, the first under him. He led Michigan to a college football playoff berth, their first in program history, of course the first under Jim Harbaugh. They finally defeated Ohio State for the first time under Jim Harbaugh. 12-2 record in 2021, and in 7 years, in Ann Arbor, Michigan has compiled a 61-24 record under Harbaugh with 4 double-digit win seasons. Many criticize his inability to win the big games. He's lost his last 5 bowl games with Michigan, but the double-digit win seasons, the being in contention not just for playoff berths, but for Big Ten titles year in and year out under Jim Harbaugh, that's something that, again, before he got there, Michigan wasn't having that. They weren't in contention for that. So again, he's made this program relevant again, and he showed that in 2021 he could get over the hump. He could win the big games, and they're hoping that success continues in 2022. Finally, in at number 1, it should be no surprise, Ryan Day at Ohio State. He picked up right where Urban Meyer left off. Ryan Day is 31-4 in 3 full seasons as head coach at Ohio State. He has 2 Big Ten titles, 2 college football playoff berths, and a national championship berth in 2020. Last year, the Buckeyes had a disappointing season, going just 11-2, missing out on the Big Ten championship game, but winning the Rose Bowl over Utah. This team, guys, is poised for a playoff run in 2022. We had them as the 2nd-ranked team in the country going into 2022. Ryan Day has done a phenomenal job picking off where one of the most legendary college coaches ever left him, promoting him up to head coach, and he has picked up right where he left off and has continued to make Ohio State one of the best teams, not just in the Big Ten, really the king of the Big Ten, but one of the best teams in the country year in and year out. So there you have it, guys, your Big Ten coaching rankings going into 2022 from top to bottom. Ryan Day at 1, Tom Allen at 14. We want to hear from you. What are your Big Ten coach rankings going into this season? Who deserves to be first? Who deserves to be ranked 2nd through 14th? We want to hear about your rankings so we can debate and discuss down in the comments below. But until then, guys, make sure to please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. Check out everything down in the description below. We want to hear from you, and we want you to become a part of what we're building here at the Gridiron Expert. We truly want you to be a part of our GE Nation. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.